The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Perhaps you've heard that before. I tried to find out where it came from, and it looks like a lot of people make claim to it. So we'll make claim to it today. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Your challenging journey is a testament to your incredible strength and determination. We all know it's not easy to get through cancer and everything it entails. And when treatment's over, the impacts of cancer to our body, mind, and spirit is not complete. So your challenging journey is definitely a hardship that we've all faced. And, I understand what you've been through too, because I've been there myself. So let's acknowledge the strength it takes to navigate through all the complications of breast cancer. Okay, today as we discuss the recovery journey that we all go through, we'll focus on progress, not perfection. An exploration of the recovery of body, mind, and spirit after completing active cancer treatment will be our focus. So in today's world, people often admire those who strive for excellence. So sometimes we can get caught up in this desire to be perfect. It can sometimes be destructive rather than a good thing. It leads us into overthinking, perfectionism, and an unrelenting search for flawlessness. So as a result, many people are they're stuck in a cycle of fear, unable to take the first step toward their goal. And the goal we're talking about is recovery and how we will move forward after breast cancer. This phenomena is commonly known as a failure to launch, where the fear of making a mistake is so overwhelming we have difficulty even taking that first step. We're just paralyzed, uncertain on how to move forward. Perfectionism is often seen as a positive trait and can transform into a tyrant that stifles our creativity or our innovation because we're just not sure where to go from here. That desire for flawlessness overcomes any sort of desire we have for moving forward or healing. Now, I don't know if this applies to you. It might, or at least pieces of it. The fear is rooted in the belief that any deviation from perfect equals failure. It can impede our ability to heal and move forward. That perfection-induced fear of failure often results in procrastination. Some call it a procrastination loop because you try to start, but then you stop and wait a while. And then you try again and you really don't make headway. Individuals delay taking action, convincing themselves that they need more time to plan, to prepare, or to perfect an approach. However, as time passes, the pressure to achieve perfection intensifies instead of getting easier, leads to further delays and a never-ending cycle of inaction. That's the loop where we just keep stepping back and never forward. So let's talk about the unrealistic standards that some of us have. And some of this that I'm talking about comes from the world we live in, because we view other people and sometimes compare ourselves to others. And that's where we fail. We shouldn't do that. We should just focus on ourselves. But that's where we come up with these unrealistic standards. One of the primary drivers of the fear of imperfection is the establishment of unrealistic goals. Perfectionists set unattainable goals for themselves and oftentimes for others, expecting flawless execution in every endeavor. This mindset creates an immense burden and sets the stage for disappointment, as perfectionism is an elusive and subjective concept. What you think is perfect may be different than what I characterize as perfect. So as I prepared for this discussion, I was reminded that perfection is an unreasonable expectation. I have always set high standards for myself. I am an achiever, often self-assured, energetic, competent, adaptable. For most of my life, people always noticed when I was involved in any activity, and many times they looked at me for direction or advice. I often felt like a two-edged sword, because while I enjoyed being recognized for my knowledge or my expertise or my abilities, and I also relished approval, that burden to be perfect made it tough. I definitely feared failure, which I know stems from a misconception that mistakes are irreversible and inherently harmful. However, I learned that embracing failure as a natural part of the learning process was crucial for my own personal growth and professional growth. Many success stories are woven with threads of setbacks, challenges, lessons we've learned from failures. I can name many famous people, but I can also just talk about myself, because I was one of those people. Does any of this story resonate with you? Overcoming perfection paralysis was critical to me for healing my mind, my body, and my spirit. And even now, 10 years out from my second trip through breast cancer, I still struggle at times. No one gets everything the first time around, but I've learned to be okay with making progress. The progress might come slower than I would like, but I've learned to accept that instead of expecting unrealistic things or results. But that's how you get from where we are now to where we plan to be. Can you learn from anything from my experience? Even if you're not a perfectionist, do you ever see yourself in this light? To break free from paralysis of perfection, we must shift our mindset. Understanding that imperfection is a part of the human experience, that we've all been there from time to time. It allows us to be more compassionate to ourselves and also to others. Understanding that imperfection is unrealistic helps us to achieve our goals. Breaking larger tasks into smaller tasks, celebrating progress rather than fixating on the end goal or perfection. These are all essential strategies for overcoming perfection paralysis. Believe in yourself. That's my advice. Believe in yourself by adopting a growth mindset to overcome fear of failure. Viewing challenges as opportunities for learning and growth reframes your setbacks and makes them into stepping stones toward your end goal. Stepping stones get you through the journey to the goal that you're headed for. By understanding that skills and abilities can be developed over time, that we don't have to know everything when we start. You can liberate yourself from the shackles of perfectionism and take confident strides toward your goals. The fear of imperfection can cast a shadow on your path, leading to the failure to launch. Recognizing the detrimental impact of perfectionism and understanding the value of learning from failure and cultivating a growth mindset, these are all essential steps in overcoming paralyzing fear. By embracing imperfection as a natural part of the journey through breast cancer and to recovery, we can break free from the cycle of inaction and embark on the fulfilling transformation that we deserve. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Taking that first step is the place to begin. Now, I know there's a lot to say about progress, not perfection, and I've only just highlighted a bit of my story and a few things I've learned over the years. But I hope you find this helpful. If you have any questions, I'm happy to talk about it, happy to answer the questions. Just reach out and let me know. Until next time, I'm cheering you on. Happy Monday.